Hello again, and welcome to Retro PC Refurbs. Today we have another laptop which I got from a CarBoot, and again this was £5 or around about $6. It was a very sunny day, and when I looked at it, the screen looked absolutely fine, but I have cleaned this up very slightly. It was absolutely filthy, and it still is, and there is still lots of gunk under the keys, but it was absolutely like mud was smeared all over it. So I have cleaned it up slightly just on the surface, and I have had it started. So as you can see, the screen is smashed completely. Okay, so when I initially got this, it didn't work. I have had it open, and the battery was totally flat and it wasn't charging. So when I opened it up, there was from the charger here to the motherboard, the actual motherboard jack was broken or snapped off, so it wasn't getting any power. Anyway, okay, so the laptop is working. I'm going to pull it apart again. I'm going to change the screen, and it's also got a single core V120 AMD V120 CPU, which is a single core and a single thread, and it's absolutely useless. So I have bought a triple core Phenom or Phenom, however you want to say it. So a Phenom 2 triple core, which I'm going to change out. I could have gone for a quad core, but thermals are not good enough for it. It is a cheaper model laptop, and also it wouldn't help at all in games or anything, because it's the CPU would not be the bottleneck. It will be the onboard graphics, which are HD 4200 or 4250. I'm not quite sure which one it was, but that would be what would be holding it back in games, not the CPU. So for the era of the games, which would be around 2009 to about 2015 maybe, a dual core would probably be just as good. But I actually got the triple core for less than what I could have got a dual core for, so I went with a triple. So without further ado, I will change the screen first. So if you can see in these hinges, the amount of dust that is in here, well, times that by 20 and stick that inside, and that was what was in there when I pulled it apart originally. All the screws are the same size, so I do not need to worry about keeping them apart. So here is the new screen. I'm hoping it's exactly the same one. It's for a model C650, so it's a C650, and this is a C650D, but it should be exactly the same. I will put on the screen what I paid for this LCD. So that's all bolted down now. I'm just going to test it, make sure it's all okay before I put the cowling back on. And also going to clean the hinges up as well while I've got this bit off. Okay, there we are. So a nice, lovely, shiny screen that works. Okay, so the hinges are cleaned up now. Just a little bit of WD-40 on them. Not too much, don't want it all leaking everywhere. That will obviously help when you get cracked bezels and everything like that, because dust gets in there and stops the hinges working. So now for the CPU. Okay, so here is what I repaired. You just see a little blob of solder there. Just a little blob of solder there. And that was actually the power button, not the actual power jack, which I thought it was, which is power jack is there. That was fine. It was actually the power button where that fits in there, which was snapped. This was snapped and wasn't making contact, so that was repaired, and then the laptop fired up. Right, okay, so here we have the new chip. This was £4.95, I believe. I will check it and put it on screen. So here we are. As I said, it's a triple core. To be fair, they're not much different than a quad core. In fact, the quad cores are actually slower in their single core, and a lot of the games from around the year this laptop was made, in 2009, 2010, pretty much use single core. You did get the odd dual core, was optimised for dual core, but mainly single core. So the dual cores and these triple cores have a single core which is faster than the quad cores, so they do actually perform quicker in those type of games, in that era of games. As I say, I have been in here before and cleaned the motherboard up because it was absolutely filthy. So this should have new thermal paste on. Quite cleverly, everything on here on the laptop is Phillips head, apart from where the CPU is, which is a flat blade, which is always handy. Okay, so there's the offending CPU, which is a V120, which is absolutely useless, not worth it. I am hoping this CPU works. I did do look online and it said it would. And these laptops actually come with these processors, so I shouldn't see why it wouldn't work. Okay, so I'm going to see if we get anything without the keyboard on. Make sure it fires up before I put all the screws back in. And it seems to be working fine. I haven't got the hard drive in. So it's booted up, so that's good enough for me. So we are all put back together now.